What is the chance that there's going to be rain tomorrow? What is the probability of winning in poker? What is the probability that New York Jets will win the Super Bowl? All of these questions pertain to an important concept called the probability. Probability is a study of randomly generated values, meaning that we don't know what the next outcome is. For instance, we're certain that today is sunny, but what about tomorrow? Is it rainy or sunny? The outcome is probabilistic. Let's take a look at the math behind probability. The formula for probability is the number of ways an event can happen divided by the total number of possible outcomes. Let's take a look at an example. The probability of getting ahead on a die roll is 1 divided by 6. So the notation for that probability is P of x, x being the event of interest in this case. So we want a value of 6 in our die roll, and the probability of this is 1 over 6. Well, 1 is the number of ways an event can happen. How many ways can we get 6 in a die roll? Just once, because x has to be equal to 6. And 6 in this case is the total number of possible outcomes. We're talking about a 6-face die. So the number of ways, the number of possible outcomes in a die roll is 6, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 as possible outcomes that you can get in a die roll. Now, what about a coin flip example? On a coin, there are 2 possible outcomes. There's a head and there's a tail. So what is the probability of getting a head on a coin flip? P of x equals a head, and it will be half. What about a tail? Getting a tail would be P of x equals tail, which is equal to 1/2. Now, you can express probability in terms of decimal form. So 1/2 can be expressed as 0.5. However you express it is purely dependent on your personal preference. I like to use either one. One important concept to know about probability is that probability is always bounded by 0 and 1. It's never -1, it's never 1.2, but it's either 0 or 1, or some decimal or fraction value in between 0 and 1. Let's do another example of calculating probability. Suppose I have the following data. X equals 1, 2, 3, 3, and 4. The data size is n equals 4. The data size is n equals 5. So n equals 5. So what is the probability of getting 3? How many instances of 3 do we have? We have 1 and we have 2. So the probability of getting 3 is x equals 3, which is 2, the number of ways that we can get 3, divided by 5, the total number of possible outcomes in this case. And so this can also be written as 0.4. Now, you can also estimate probability. Suppose you have a sample from a population. For instance, suppose that you have NBA basketball player data. This NBA player might have played multiple seasons. Let's just assume that you only have data about this NBA player from one season, not all of his seasons during his NBA career. And you want to estimate the probability of him making free throws. So in a given season, let's just assume that he has had an opportunity to throw 100 free throws. The formula for estimating probability is successes divided by total runs. Successes is essentially out of the total trials that this person has made, how many of those trials, how many number of trials did that person succeed? So in a basketball example, let's just say that the basketball player has had an opportunity to throw 100 free throws. So I'm going to express that as n equals 100. And the total number of successes that he's had with the free throws is 85. So successes equals 85. And so what is the estimated probability of him making successful free throws? Well, that will be 85 divided by 100, or 0.85.